Everyone. My name's Donna Guerin. I'm founder of Global Lighthouse Studios. We connect teachers and students around the world through the lens of music and the arts. And I'm super excited today to introduce to you Miss Lady Rocket. These are some of the original students that I started with back in June of 2021. These students are super special to my heart, and we are joined here by Amin Bolis, who is the one that was the leader when we first started. Amin, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself so that we can introduce the students, and then I'll let Lady Rocket introduce herself.
All right. Thank you so much, Donna. As Donna have said, my name is Amin Bolis. Formerly a refugee in Kakuma Refugee Camp before moving here to Canada. That was last year in September. So I've been a refugee in the camp for the past 20 years. And I work with an organization called Humanity Hands, which like these children are basically based at the moment. We're an organization that was initiated by refugee ourselves. Like we thought of like how do we give back to our community? Because as I said earlier, like I've been in that camp for 20 years, and so unfortunate that like we are able to come across a donor which have walked the journey with us from the year 2021, supporting us, mentoring us, and providing material support so that we can be able to continue supporting our fellow refugees in the context of Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya. So I think joining from the center, that's the center that we have established to support our different programs that we are currently supporting refugee students on. And I think like the kids will later on maybe introduce themselves and say what they're like going through in the camp on a day-to-day basis, and also like they look forward to get to learn more about the space. I was asking them earlier prior to this call, like I was asking them like, have you ever heard of someone who have gone to the moon? And they were like, sure. So I told them like, okay, like it's a good opportunity for you to get to interact with Lady Rocket, who is an expert in space explorations in that aspect, which I can say. So you can be able to basically like learn more on like what does it tell if you like someone saying that I'm astronaut, like all those. So basically like
Yes.
yeah. So I think it's a high
Perfect.
opportunity for them to kind of like get to learn more. But I think most of them are in junior high school, like they're in junior high school, and yeah. So back to you,
Fantastic.
Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Go ahead, Lady Rocket.
First of all, Donna, thank you so much for spreading your goodwill and making your Lighthouse Studios mission available and inviting me. And congratulations to Amin, and big love to all the kids. This is very special to me that I have an opportunity to speak to you this early morning, because I am coming to you from Los Angeles, California. I believe there's 10 hours difference between us. And so I am here in the Copernic Space Lady Rocket Foundation offices, but it's empty because it's still very early. But I very much welcome opportunity to speak to you, and I already thought about how together we can make a history, because in those turbulent times, we don't have a time for doing things that do not matter a lot. We do not have a time to do things that will not be noticed. And I would like very much contribute to Global Lighthouse Studio and your teachers and your staff and you to hopefully change your life also by taking very bold steps. And I will tell you very briefly, or maybe not briefly, I will tell you intensely about what I thought when Donna invited me to speak to you. First of all, I am very compelled and very sad that refugees camps are still needed on planet Earth, and the treatment of humans by humans is cruel and undeservingly harsh and without compassion and love. When I started Copernic Space and Lady Rocket Foundation, my mission, my guiding light was, let's be better humans on Earth before we go back to the moon and land on Mars. And this is my dedication, to do everything that I can, and what I cannot, then I ask for a help to make this mission relevant and having a results. One more time, let's be better humans on Earth before we will go back to the moon and land on Mars. And I had youth like you, your teacher, your country, Africa, situations in America, on my mind. So let me tell you what I prepared specially this morning, and I will talk and work with Ms. Donna about it, but I think this is a perfect moment to introduce it to you. First of all, before I introduce the program, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Warsaw, Poland, in Europe, during the very difficult political times when we were occupied by Soviet Union. We had no freedom, we had no historical, no educational, no political freedom. And I decided to escape from Poland and smuggling myself through the borders. By the way, Donna, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay, fantastic. I made my way to Italy, and I asked American ambassador in Italy to what for me was a matter of life or death, because I couldn't go back to Poland. And I asked him to give me a student visa to come to the United States. It was a very difficult time. Ambassador, like so often, Americans step in and can help change your life. He gave me the visa, and this is how I got as a university student to the United States. It was a long time ago. I got my degree. Education is so important. This is why I will be talking to you about the education. I worked in Silicon Valley, which is a very prominent, successful place in America where we are developing a lot of technology, but most importantly, we learn how to be entrepreneurs and what it means to be an entrepreneur. And I am looking at you as a possible candidates to be entrepreneurs, is to have an idea that you believe in and find a way to make it happen and organize company around it. So we'll be talking about space entrepreneurship. I went back to my country, Poland, when it regained freedom in 1991, when the Berlin Wall fell down and Soviet Union ceased to exist. And I worked 7 years in Poland to bring democracy, democratic education, inspiration, American way of doing business, American ethics, and American technology. I have a son, his name is Grant. He was born here in California, in Laguna Beach. And he's now in Poland, working with me and Miss Donna on Lady Rocket Foundation and Copernic Space Company. And guess what? Copernic Space sent pictures created by kids like you all the way to the moon. We are the first private company that organized successful moon mission, which included students, included philanthropy, included music, included art, and included fashion. So we, Copernic Space and Lady Rocket Foundation, have a presence on the moon with beautiful, beautiful, what we call space assets, which means ownership of very interesting things, which we plan to sell to have money to support our mission. I got dressed up for the meeting with you. As you can see, I have a lot of patches here that celebrate different NASA. Here is a NASA patch, different NASA space missions. And so I want to introduce you today to NASA, which is our American Space Agency, which is responsible for preparing astronauts, programs, technology. And one day I hope maybe NASA will join us in talking to you. And it's possible, Donna. What I will talk about is a possibility of inviting American astronauts to speak to our students. But to get to this point, I want to challenge you and your teachers and invite you to work with us on the program so you too can become astronauts. Because when life is difficult, you aim higher. When you have to be in the camp, and thank you for the camp, you try to inspire yourself to aim for something that might seem to be unrealistic, but it's possible and will help you get through the years. So here comes another outfit, especially for you. This is the formal look of NASA, okay? And this is our American flag that I am very, very proud to wear as an American space entrepreneur and a philanthropist. And then I will show you, remember, Donna, our poster. So listen, and then I want you to think about it and get back to me with your decision. Tomorrow morning, here in America, from Kennedy Space Center, which is our magical place where we launch rockets, 4 astronauts are going to go in space on SpaceX rocket. One of them is from my country, Poland. So I'm very happy about it. And I want to celebrate by introducing to you a possibility of starting astronaut program that we can educate and lead you through, because when you are challenged, when you need help, I think having a dream of becoming astronaut, I am sure will help you get through some of the difficult moments. And becoming astronaut means becoming a very good human being on planet Earth. When you look at astronauts, who they are, how they live their life, you can see that they are people of compassion, dedication, courage, invincibility, education, inspiration. They are good people. And they are beautiful role models. In this challenging world, it's very difficult to find role models. It's confusing. It's not easy. One day someone is very good, and the next day you discover that something bad is happening. Astronauts, if you look at them as humans, continue to be people of integrity, people of fun, people of incredible resilience. And this is what I would like to share with you by inviting you to take step by step, because we would have to develop this program, but we will not be alone, because I can ask NASA to help us with it. And to be, if you ask, what does it mean to be astronaut? How can I be an astronaut where I am? That's exactly, you are the right place to use astronaut and Lady Rocket Foundation to dream big. And to be an astronaut means learning, reading, being curious, exercising, because remember, astronauts need to be very strong, because when you go to zero gravity and stay in space, you have to really be physically prepared. Astronauts read history. Astronauts read about astronomy. Astronauts read about rockets. Astronauts read about Lady Rocket, because I met a lot of them, including the first, actually he was a second man walking on the moon, Buzz Aldrin. He's still with us. How can we do it? Well, we have Lighthouse Studios. I have a program that we can, with Donna, quickly put together and use also NASA. And what it would mean is that maybe like once a month, we could visit with you and take you through the lesson relevant to being an astronaut. But what's very important, what I would like to do with you, together, to recognize you, to embrace you, to tell you that you are very important to us, is initiate this program And then with Donna's help and other people, see if we could get supporters for the program so we can really turn it into something real. Because I am not aware of anyone teaching youth in refugee camps about the dream of going to the moon and dream about being astronaut. The most important is opportunity to dream, especially when it's difficult. This is what I did when I was escaping from the Soviet regime, from political oppression, from inability to be free. So I know how dreams work. And this is also why I became Lady Rocket, because I want to dream big. And I was always wanted to send my own cargo to the moon. It happened. And then I wanted to include students in it. It happened. So what I'm talking to you about, we've already accomplished a lot. Okay? So the astronaut program means we'll tell you, we'll give you the lectures, we will strive to invite American astronaut to speak to you. I don't believe it has happened that American astronaut was invited to speak to the refugee camp. And I think we need to bring the biggest dreams to you. And being astronaut doesn't necessarily mean that you will end up going in space, but it might mean that you will become astronomer, engineer, rocket designer. Listen, I specialize in rockets and I have my own rockets. I've made arrangement that I can use them. So for sure, I will tell you about the rockets because it's fun. And when we send the rockets in space, because we also did with Copernicus Space, they have art, students art inside. They have so-called NFTs. We'll teach you also about art and space, okay? Because it's fun, art in space, art on the moon. And speaking of that, this is a poster. I don't know if you can see it, but it shows one of Miss Donna's and Lighthouse Studio contests that we had for other students about the moon, about Formula One, and about art. We will also give you insight into something that you can reach and learn about, which is artificial intelligence. Okay, because where you are, we can give you information. So how about that? And the reason that also I'm announcing it today, because I'm so happy that tomorrow, SpaceX and our partner, who's partner with Lady Rocket Foundation and Copernicus Space, Axiom, are taking 4 astronauts in space. This is why I want to invite Donna and all of you to write a letter to the company Axiom, which is a big American space company, developing, you know what? They are developing hotels and little cities in space. Yes, maybe you will be one of the people going to live in the city in space. So I would like to ask Donna that she joins Lady Rocket Foundation Copernicus Space, to send a letter to Axiom company and say that on the day before the launch with 4 astronauts, by the way, they are Americans, Polish, and Hungarian, that we just started astronaut program in your refugee camp, and ask them for the support and tell them that maybe one of you will be sponsored by Lady Rocket astronaut on the future Axiom space missions. Because only big dreams, only hard work, education, inspiration, and friends can really make your life a little bit better. So what do you think? Are we going in space?
I love that. That was so inspirational. And of course, I support and I love this idea. And some of you might not know who I am, but like I said, I've been working in Kakuma for 4 years now with Amin's help and guidance. And I would love to be able to bring this opportunity to you guys. And let's learn about what it is to be an astronaut. You already have shown resilience and courage and
Yes.
being a student and being invested in education, because you wouldn't be sitting here in front of us if you weren't. So I would love for you to dream big, and let's do this together, because I know Lady Rocket, and if she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. And I think that's a great idea to instill this this already put together program with NASA's
Yes.
backing, that we can start as soon as tomorrow. It's already there. So I would love to, with a few minutes left, because I know it's getting dark there, I would love to see if the students have any questions, anything about space, or about, Lady Rocket gave you some things to think about. One of them is that she mentioned that she did send art and music to the moon with her son Grant and Copernic Space, which is kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around. But they did actually land on the moon on March 2nd with art and music from students just like yourself. So again, dream big, but I'd love to see if there's any questions that we could answer for you about astronauts or space or NASA, or just any questions that you might have.
Yeah, Kafi, I hope you can hear us, and I think like just to bring it back like to the context of Kakuma. I think like in high school, like usually study about 9 planets, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so like to them like basically like these are syllabus they usually learn, like I think it's they usually study something around 9 planets that exist.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think I'm kind of trying to bring it to the context so that they can be able to really understand what does
Yes.
it mean by space exploration. So like, and how do we get to explore the space, and thinking from the entrepreneurial point of view, like how like how do we get to maybe like learn about this? And I think like they see movies of like the rocket,
Right.
yes, but like actually like it's very hard to interpret it,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it's quite very important that we have really brought it in
Yes.
the context of like them understanding. So Kafi, if there's any question from the students, maybe like they can just jump in and ask like any question they feel like to ask about the space, and maybe like if they want to ask about Los Angeles, they can ask Lady Rocket here. If they want to ask about Donna, you are
Also, fashion, art, as you can see, I have a blue hair because this is a symbol of my commitment. I'm saying always try to have something unique about you that sends a message. I have a blue astronaut glasses because this is how we can help communicate with people. How many students are in your class?
yeah, I
How
think
many?
they're currently, are they 15 or how many in number Kafi now? Kafi, how many are they?
Yeah, 13. 13.
They're 13 now.
13.
13. And they are what age? About 14, 15?
Yeah, for I think almost 11 to 12 to 18.
Okay, so here is what we can do if Donna and Lighthouse Studio, who is our host and organization that we work with, so I need to discuss it with Donna. But for example, next get together, we can talk about like 3 selected astronauts. Who are they? What was their life story? Guess what? Most of the astronauts came from the little villages, from the farming families in the United States. So I want to show similarities between your background and the background of the astronauts. We can talk about them. We can talk about what was their way to become astronauts. And we can talk about what can you do daily to deepen your knowledge. I'm sure where you are, sky is full of beautiful stars and planets. So one of the things that we can do is, take a look at this moon, take a look at the sky, start owning it. To be an astronaut also to mean being a poet, being a writer. Some of the astronauts wrote poetry. And we will talk also about certain exercising programs that are good to exercise, because I don't know if you exercise, but exercising is very important. And we can teach you about, since you learn about the planets, you can take a look at Mars, because in addition to the moon, we have an active program to prepare Mars astronauts. So choose Mars as the planet that you will study. And I will tell you about SpaceX Mars program. And I will share with Miss Donna my lectures about going to the Mars that I did in 2018, 2019, when we sent rockets to the Mars here from the United States. And then we will put together a program. But the key thing is not to necessarily make you an expert on space, develop passion, direction, goals, value system. Astronauts love Earth. Astronauts love other people. They risk their lives for us. And that's very beautiful. And we'll be talking about tomorrow's launch. It's at 6 a.m. Eastern Time for astronauts going to the International Space Station, including first one from Poland. So it's a very special for me. Any questions? Do you like it? You don't have to like it, but I thought this is a gift I can make for you.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much, Donna. Thank you, Amin. Thank you, Lydia, Rocky. I think I'm the one who is on the ground, Kakuma Refugee Camp. My name is Kafia Noor. I work with Humanity Hands, refugee-led organization.
Hello, Kofi. Thank you for your commitment.
Yeah, sure. I'm really glad seeing you coming and inviting young children from refugee camp and speaking to them. It's something that we really appreciate. Maybe by this time, I'm going to give them this chance. If there's anyone who has a question to ask,
yes,
maybe they can ask and you can answer them.
Wonderful. And to you who leads this students in the camp, here is also why I'm doing it. Because I would love to call attention to your refugee camp. And the only way to get attention is to do something that has not been done before and something extraordinary. And I think idea of bringing space and astronaut inspiration to refugee camp should attract attention, should get support. So we would love to work with you and see if what I propose to you today, astronaut program in the refugee camp, unheard of, could attract sponsors, and what type of funding could be utilized to support Global Lighthouse, you, and my program, so it can really change the lives, because I think we just came up with something that has not been done before. And we have track record. We have both Donna and I have a significant track record in space education, working with the students all over the world. So I think there is a reasonable chance to truly succeed with it. So think about who should be a sponsor, who could be a sponsor, whom you would like to reach out to. Who are the people and individuals?
Am I the local inside?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on just a moment. I am.
Yeah, I have to bring packages.
Okay, I will hold. Okay. Sorry, the Amazon delivery. So listen. So think about. Give me the list of individuals. You are in Kenya, yes?
Yes.